James Escuton. This is my reporting. Scale and proportion artist plays with size, relationship, and mathematical ideals like the golden ratio to create harmony and impact. The sculpture to exaggerate scale are common all over the world, as many artists are taken by the whimsical quality of this object. One cannot help but smile upon seeing them in public aspects. In the Philippines, Arturo Rolos has created enormous sculpture versions of the paper clip for a long time and occupied a prominent spot at the entrance of Ayala Museum. Proportion, on the other hand, is the size of the components or of objects in relation to one another when taken as a composition or a unit. This can also refers to values such as amounts of numbers of elements or objects in the composition. One of the most common canon asserted relates to the proportion of the body. This varies from one culture or traditions to another. For the Egyptian artist, the human form follows square girl and is informed by the palm of the hand as a unit of measures. To complete standing human figures, 18 unit squares are needed from head to foot. On the other hand, Greeks held the numerical relationship. The golden ratio was the key to beauty or perfection. In the golden ratio, the figures is divided into unequal segments, wherein the smaller is the same ratio to the large segment, and that the longer segment is the same ratio in relation the whole figures. It can be valued at 11618. This text explains scale and proportion in art sculpture with exaggerated scale like Arturo's large paper clip and common evoke whimsy. Proportion is the relative size or parts in a composition. Ancient Egyptian artists used a group system and palm measurement for human figures, while ancient Greek artists used the golden ratio. Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man is a exploration on the ideas of the Roman aesthetic. Vitruvius, in which of the human is an example of classification proportion as in architecture. For the Vinci man's body can be used to better understand the symmetry that exists in nature and the universe. Proportion can be natural relates to realistic size of the visual elements in the artwork, especially for the figure artwork, when it is the accuracy in the relation to real world that artist is after. This is now referred to as principle of skill. Exaggerated refers to usual size relation of visual elements, deliberately exaggerating the immensity or minuteness of object. In relation to this are notion scale that different when an element smaller than expected the system, and when something appears to be larger than what is presumed monumental, idealized, most common to those that follow canons of perfection, the size relation of elements or object which achieve the most ideal size relation. So gipakita daw ni Bitterman ang proportion mahimong natural, realistiko, exaggerated nga gidak-on or idealized perfecto nga gidak-on sa perfecto nga gidak-on. Emphasize and contrast. Emphasize allows the attention of the viewer to focal points, accentuating or drawing attention to these elements or objects. This can be done through manipulating of the elements or through the assistance of other principles, especially that of contrast is the disparity between the elements that figure into the composition. One object may be stronger compared to other object. Hence, emphasis. This can be done in many ways using the elements of art. For instance, space, especially the use of negative and positive space in example of contrast. Another example is the use contemporary colors in an work of art. So emphasis and contrast. Emphasis directs attention, often using contrast different in elements like size, space and colors. Unity and variety. Unless be otherwise, composition intended to imbue a sense of accord or completeness from the artwork. This is unity. Unity and variety. Ang goal daw sa sining ang pagkakaisa or pakiusa sa element para sa interest. Variety on the other hand is the principle that aims to retain interested by allowing patchiness or areas that both excite and allow the eye to rest. Harmony. What is hinted above unit and variety is related to the principle harmony, in which elements or object achieve a sense of flow and di ni mabasa. So kabantay maning image ani muning image. The Vasudhara Mandala artwork shown is a good example of these principles, especially repetition and pattern. So balik ta diri sa like what is hinted above, unity and variety is related to a principle of harmony, in which the elements or object achieve a sense of flow and interconnectedness. So variety keeps viewers engaged by mixing exciting and restful visual elements. Number 8. This refers to the direction of the viewing eye as the goes through the artwork, often guided by areas or elements that are emphasized. These focal points can be lines, edges, shape, and colors within the work of art, among others. Variety. Keep viewers engaging by mixing exciting and restful visual elements. Din, asa naman to eh? Sa movements. This refers to the direction of the viewing eye as it goes through the artwork, often guided by areas, elements that are emphasized. These focal points can be lines, engages, colors, and work of art. Movement guides the viewer's eye through emphasized parts of the artwork, lines, shapes, colors. Sa rhythm. This is created when an element is repeated, creating implied movement. Variety of repetition help invigorate rhythm as depicted in the artwork. Rhythm use repetition to suggest movement with variety, making it dynamics. Repetition and pattern, line, shape, and colors, and other elements may appear in artwork in a recurring manner. This is called repetition and addition. The image created out of repetition is called pattern. With repetition, there is sense of predictability that is conveyed, which in turn imbues that feelings of security and calmness. Repetition or pattern involves recurring elements, lines, shape, colors to form pattern, providing predictability, security, and calmness. Ano yung mga calmness, mga pattern sa these are line, shape, colors sa movements. Ano siya mga line, shape, colors of sa movements. Then kani combine of hybrid in contemporary art. Rigid boundaries between art forms are increasing blurred. The rise of interdisciplinary and combined arts reflects the merging of styles, mediums, and techniques, allowing artists to innovate and address complex societal themes. Works often combines multiple art from like dance, theater, visual arts, music, and literature, requiring improvisation, inventiveness, and fusion of influences. Parallel to this, hybrid arts emerge at the intersection of art and technology, incorporating robotics, AI, biotechnology, digital media, and one other specific and advancements. These movements expands to possibilities of creation, challenge traditional definition of art, and emphasize exploration, experimentation, and the imaginative use of new tools and platforms. So kanang This takes present and sani and thoughts ano present ban sani nga present ban thoughts la versus and as an example then explains combined or hybrid arts. This modern trend combines or hybrid arts. This modern trends ni trend plus traditional art boundaries by merging style and medium and technologies across disciplines like dance, visual arts, and literature. It also incorporates technology, robotics, AI, digital media to expand creative possibilities, challenge old definition and possibilities, challenges old definition, and emphasize exploration and experimentation.